You're most welcome to this YouTube laboratory. My name is Daudi Alaba. If you are watching me for the first time, yesterday I told you that we shall be having brooding starting today, and we ordered 2,000 birds from a company, and we are receiving them right now here. And we are going to impact into the journey, which will take us up to the farm, and then we start on from the point where the brooding starts until the time the birds grow up. And this is what we have got here is actual Uber that is going to help us to deliver the birds into the farm. Here we have already prepared our brooder yesterday. Actually, in the video that I put yesterday, our brooder was actually made ready. You can see how they are moving on. Others seem to be weaker, others are stronger. You can look at them, and I'm not very worried, because I know since they were hatched, they have never eaten anything. So I'm giving them water, which is mixed with the glucose. The purpose, glucose is actual a reduced sugar. And the purpose of glucose is to give them energy, to rehydrate them, to actually give them strength to start to move actively. We're going to give it like about 2 hours before we introduce the feed to them. Inside, our brooder looks very red, and this red color is reflection of the red tarpaulin or the carpet that I put outside there. And I wanted to be red because the brooding lights are made red. The reason being, the red color actually cuddles, or it calms the birds, it reduces their stress. So that's why the brooding lights are made red, and that is also the same thing that I want to do here. So right now you can see we have already brought the feed. Why do we bring the feed? And you can observe the birds seem to be, they don't know what it is. They don't even know why something is like this here. So they are not eating. I'm just watching them, and I'm seeing some few trying to scratch around, trying to eat food. They will just start to eat naturally by themselves. So I'm seeing some few birds, they're already eating. And this food, I've given it after 2 hours. And I first wanted them to be rehydrated from the dehydration that they got since they were hatched. That there were some 6 of them, they reached dead. And I couldn't tell reasons. But what I know is maybe they were just hatched weak, and then reaching here they died, and I had nothing to do with it. And I still have some 3 which were still weaker, and one of them died. And those 2 that were remaining from those which are weaker, they're already recovering, they're already getting well. Yeah, now the other thing that I need to do here is to keep the birds active. Since I've already given them energy, now they have already got some energy into themselves, and they can be strong enough. What I need to do is to make some noise, to kick the walls which are made of carpet, so that they are scared, they can keep running around. You know, when the birds sleep, that is when their immune system reduces. And when the immunity reduces, that is also one of the reasons why they can easily get attacked by the pathogens. And that is what you don't need to see. It is okay for the chicks to sleep, but don't allow them to just be dormant sleeping everywhere. No, make them active, let them keep drinking, let them eat food. And most importantly, the first day is the most important day in the life of the birds. Now, let us look at what is happening right here with the birds. You can see literally all of them are feeding. I brought cardboard papers. You can see this is just a cardboard paper that I made yesterday. And inside this, it is feed. Now this feed is just is pellet for layers. And this pellet, the size seems to be actual unrealistic to the birds themselves. You can see they old eating something of this size. Now it doesn't seem realistic, but I don't know. Those scientists, they know it better, and I've always been using it. It works, and I'm sure it still works. So they know the science behind this that I'm not so sure about. I would expect it to be smaller because the birds are still small, but still, anyway, it is okay. Now what I've decided to do here is, you see, I put brooder paper in the floor. All over where the birds are standing, there is brooder paper. The first reason for putting brooder paper is to create the gap or the difference between the litter, which is wood saving, and the birds themselves. So why do you need to create that distance between the birds and the litter? It is because it is wood saving, and it comes with a lot of dust, which causes allergies to the not really so young good chicks. For the bird. And it can cause things like respiratory infections. So that is what you don't need to allow at this first day of the birds. That's why you put the brooder. And we are going to remove this the brooding paper. We are going to remove it on the 4th day. By then the birds will be strong enough to go through those uncertainties of respiratory illnesses. So what we are doing right now here is, because we have the brooder paper, the feed is everywhere. I just wasted the feed. It is everywhere. Why I have decided to put it in the cardboard paper and also on the brooder paper is because I want all the birds to get access to the feed. You can see they have feed everywhere. Everywhere you see them, they at least have some feed there. I made it sure that all the birds get access. And why have I done this? So take a moment. When the cardboard paper, there are some birds, there are 2,000 birds here. Imagine some of them may not get access to the cardboard paper, and they must get feed also. And by the time they don't eat today, that is when they get problems with their immune system. So when the first day fails, they are not eating feed, and they reach the second day, you'll find all of them are weaker because they are very hungry, and still they don't know what food is. That's when you start to realize that the birds are dying. And that is the core reason why you need enough feed, or on the floor and on the cardboard papers. And I think my idea of using cardboard paper is best for me because it is the access of birds to the feed, and that is what I'm following here. And you can see the birds are now very, very active. Very active. They are running around. Tomorrow I'm going to put another video, which is actually the second day of brooding. I will be explaining to you the results that I get from this particular flock that I've got right here. I'm having high hopes that these birds, I'm not going to lose a lot of them, and I'm going to keep them. You can see the type of the heat source that I'm using. They're open stoves, and why I've decided to use this one is I want heat faster. I don't like something that can stay for an hour before it starts to generate enough heat. This one, just within 5 minutes, the room is already very hot, and you can just, in case it gets too hot, you can just remove it, and there the room cools down, and that is what I need. And since the stoves are open, there is a way that the birds can start to fly normally on the 4th day, and I'm going to start to cover them with the metal seats. When I cover them, there is no way that they can jump inside into the metal the stoves. So that is how I will reduce on the mortalities. That actually I realized with the first flock of birds that I raised in my first farm, and it was very painful. I lose about 15 birds. I was also using this exact type of the stove, and the birds would just fly inside there. When one of them realized that there is noise coming there, when actually they are dying, they will all wish to jump also there. So it was so terrible. That's what I don't want to realize with this particular flock of the birds. So thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow in the next video on our performance of today. I will explain it tomorrow. And this is just how brooding started. And if you are watching us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that we rise by lifting others.